Yow! It's the Members'
Yow!
Choice Awards.
Special edition. There you go. Wow, the number just went right
Cheers.
off. Look at that. Cheers, everyone. Happy Sunday across the country. Carl's Wine Club members, Canadian wine lovers. This is a really cool Sunday here, right? There's some special stuff coming up today.
Yeah, special edition live so we can talk about the winners of the Carl's Wine Club Members' Choice Awards. So last year, we discovered 42, but it was probably closer to 50 wineries that we featured in various ways in Carl's Wine Club. And members helped us narrow down to 3 nominees. Based on what, Carl? What were we looking for?
Well, so first and foremost, what we've done, we've split the country in two, right? We took the 2 main wine regions, basically the regions that we alternate. 1 week BC, Okanagan Valley, 1 week Ontario, mostly Niagara, and we shortlisted 3 of the top wineries during the year. That first criteria was how popular the feature was amongst the member. How like is it something like we sold a lot? Or is something that, yeah, we love the wine, but the response wasn't too much there. So first, did we do a feature very successful? 1. Number 2, how is the customer service looks like at that winery? And number 3, how engaged they were with our members throughout the years. So there was some really obvious partners that throughout the entire year, we saw some interaction on social media almost on a weekly basis. And yeah, so we shortlisted to 6, 3 on the BC side, 3 on the Ontario side. And today we're going with, 10 days ago, we sent the first email to the entire membership, the whole Carl's Wine Club members database. And we say, okay, now it's your time. It's the members' time to speak. Why? Why would why, Mira? And this is from you, Mira. This has been your vision all along. This is your baby. What was the idea behind the whole thing?
Well, I think it's just a way of highlighting, what's exciting and worth celebrating in the club. And, Marcel has a good point here. He says, is this an award show without anyone getting money? And it's funny because kind of true. I think a lot of awards you have to enter to win as a winery, right? You see all these decanter awards and stuff like that. Wineries spend a lot of money to enter their wines to win, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so this is a little different because this is just specifically to our experience as members. We've discovered these 42 plus wineries, and there's no, none of these wineries knew they were going to get nominated. Nobody's paying us to do this. We just want to highlight what's going really well in Canada's wine scene. And it's not a scientific cross section of the industry in any way. It's just what we discovered in 2022 as a club and what we want to highlight as worth celebrating, because everything we have discovered is worth celebrating, but sometimes it's great to be able to say, hey, this was the member's voice speaking here about.
Well, I think you just hit the nerve of the entire point, because you've been pounding the table since day one, since the inception of the club. We are here for the members. We are just like the vehicle between all of these great wineries and the Canadian wine lovers. Our job is just to find more Canadian wine lovers and bring them on board of what we do. But at the end of the day, we are here for the members, and to give the voice to the members. Say, hey, it's your time to speak, guys. You let us know, what do you think among these 6 nominees? And I think this is the substance of who we are in terms of our community. We work hand in hand with the wineries to provide something amazing for the wine lovers. Is it not what we do?
Well, pretty much, yeah. I think about it, and there's a lot of awards out there, and a lot of initiatives out there that are started and run by the wine industry, which is great. But I feel like what we do in Carl's Wine Club is all about giving wine lovers a voice and building community amongst wine lovers specifically. So, yeah, that's why it's kind of exciting, because there are no losers here, just like someone said in the comments just now. And when we want to celebrate this winner of the Members' Choice Award, we're going to throw a party. We're going to build on that community, right? So
it's
right.
throwback a year, like just a year ago when we were here. Well, not here, but in our whole house, and just getting ready to announce the winner of our first ever Members' Choice Award. And
I think we might have lost Carl. I don't know. But why don't I review while we're waiting for Carl to come online?
oh,
Or come
it
downstairs.
completely went black here. I don't know what happened.
Yeah. Well, just come
Uh,
downstairs if that happens again. But let's
yeah,
review the nominees and then let's announce the winners, shall we?
please, let's do it.
All right. So last year when we were doing lives like this with you guys, we were saying, well, we should have we should nominate our top wineries of the year and then have a member's choice. And someone said, well, you should have one for each side of the country because it's not really fair to have to pick every year. Is it BC? Is it Ontario? So we did 3 nominees for BC and 3 nominees for Ontario. And we'd love to do other places. We just didn't feature that many wineries from other places. So there's De Silva from BC was one of our nominees, Lakeside Cellars, and Maverick. And then when we head out to Ontario, we nominated Mouchadre and Lake Erie North Shore, Siouan Staff, and Vineland in Niagara. And yes.
So this is the 6 nominees. And so what I was saying before the whole thing cut off here is I remember a year ago when we were about to announce the winner, and you asked on the chat, so and what should we do now when we have a winner on each side? And someone on the chat said, we need to throw a party at each wineries, right? And it was like, duh. Sure, we should do it, right?
So that was part of the discussion of having it on both sides of the country, so then it's easier to access for more people.
That's it, right? And that was like the start of that journey of the Carl's Wine Club Members' Choice Award, and Bellaterra in Ontario and Black Market Wine Company in BC both were the winner last year. We threw an epic party on each side. And for people who were part of that, you guys had to experience the first ever Carl's Wine Club members party. And guess what? Now with these 2 new winners, I think, and what did you think, Mira? Is it something that we should repeat?
Oh, absolutely. That's kind of what I'm looking forward to the most here.
There you go. There you go.
I mean, last year when we were in BC, we had a hog on a spit overlooking the amazing lake views from Black Market. And we actually had dinner and wine tasting in the vineyard. That was quite something. Right?
It was epic. I remember building that darn tent in between the rows of 25-year-old Merlots at Black Market Wine Company, and how we got soaked, and we got flooded that afternoon, but things stopped right before the pre-tasting, and it's such an amazing and memorable experience. I talk about it and I got goosebumps just remembering the vibe in there, like people passing the food and the wine down the aisle, because we didn't thought of the rows of the vines were too narrow for us to go through and do the service in between the rows. So such a.
If you had to go to the bathroom in the middle of that, you had to crawl under vines. It was pretty bad, but fun. So much fun. Such a community spirit. And then when we were out at Bellaterra, we had a huge tent there by the lake and tasted their wines, had great food. It was a lot of fun too.
Do you remember the epic pre-party VIP tasting that we had in the barrel room
At
with
Bellaterra.
Marcel and Lou and Fred, and like we tasted some back vintages. We tasted some the 2020s in barrel that now are not on the market, are now on the market. So these kind of thing that like we had to experience for the first time, and I truly believe that it was we knew when we did that last year, it was just the start of a annual thing that we all going to look forward to. And here we go. So we have two new locations to announce because these two winners of the Members Choice Award are not going to be like our winery of the year for 2023, but they're going to be the host of that like regional party that we're going to do later this summer. So it's really exciting.
Yeah. So one thing I love about our club, and I hope you guys tolerate at least, is we're pretty authentic, Carl and I. We don't pre-plan a lot of things, and we don't like orchestrate too much. So it is really what it is. And what I mean by that is like the winners of the award did not know that they're going to win the award until a few hours ago, and so one was gracious and kind enough to say, sure, I'll come on live with you. And the other is traveling, but was able to send us a video right before they left. So yeah, let's start maybe with BC. Hey, Carl, because we do have someone.
Oh yeah, okay. So I need them. So before we bring him live, I think should we do the reveal?
Well, exactly.
Because I want to say everyone too that we had a bunch of people over last night from the wine industry. Even these people don't even know who's going to win because we haven't, you and I waited for the last vote like a couple hours ago. So even our people from last, I don't even know.
Because it was really, really close. And then the last couple days, there were a couple clear winners. So we had an inkling. We kind of gave some hints out to a few people, but yeah, the suspense is killing him. Mike says the suspense is killing him. So we gotta.
Mira, I know you spend while I was at hockey this afternoon. You spent some time finding the best drum roll ever. So you were. Freaking fantastic. Da Silva Vineyards and Winery. That's our BC Winery of the Year Members Choice Award. We have over 400 people voted as it was such a great how can I say, it was such a good involvement. Like the members were into it, the wineries were into it, so that was pretty freaking awesome. So the Silva won a really close race. BC was a real close race between the Silva, Maverick, and Lakeside. So, and I reached out to Richard Da Silva, vigneron owner, winemaker at Da Silva Winery earlier, right after lunch, I guess. And Richard was just
picked up the phone.
Yeah, he did pick up the phone, and he's with us. So bring him in.
Yeah. Congratulations, Richard.
Thank you, everyone. Cheers.
Cheers, Richard. Congrats. Winery, BC Winery of the Year. Bam! How's that feel?
It was fantastic. I think it's not off. I haven't had a chance to tell the team, but it's always great to have people who are into wine and supporting Canada, expressing their appreciation for all the hard work you do. So it's these are the kind of things that really kind of make us sit back and take a bit of a pat in the back for all the work that we all do, and as a team, of course. I always say that I'm here because of their hard work. So really, I'm here to represent not just my wife and myself, but also our growers that work so hard during the year, and my cellar staff that have to chase behind me and pick up after me all the time. So it's a nod off to the team's hard work. So thank you so much, and it's great to have that accolade, and we're very appreciative of it.
Hey, Richard, the state of the industry is changing every year, and it's evolving so quickly now. Like 5, 10 years ago, your market was BC, it was Vancouver, it was a little bit of Alberta because they were their neighbor. But now, especially since COVID, the country has opened wide for you to bring your product, your wine across the country. So it made a big difference in the last couple of years, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's. If there's any silver lining to COVID, was that it made some of us look inside and some of the gems that Canada has had, and we are certainly not only capable but are producing some of the top cuvées in the world now, and not only people in Canada discovering that, but around the world. And I always tell people, be careful what you wish for. The world is coming, and we see that, and I think, like I said, in the last couple of years, I think COVID accelerated that because so many people, kind of a little, just a funny note. I mean, we have so many people that came to the winery during COVID had never been to the Okanagan. They'd lived there all their life. Their families didn't know this even existed, which to me is mind blowing. But there's lots of room for us to get the word out there. So we're excited by that, and it's these kind of people like yourself and Mira taking that message across the country, and having wine club members across the country discovering really small wineries. I mean, we're very tiny. We don't have the marketing dollars. We don't have the ritz and glitz to get your word out there, and it's fantastic to see through what's happened the last couple of years that there is a little silver lining, and that's the discovery of small wineries like myself out there. So yeah, we're very appreciative of all that. So
amazing.
Richard, you're located on a strip of amazing wineries. It's called the Naramata Bench, and I'm saying that because we have lots of people who are tuning in right now, all the way in Ontario or Quebec or the Maritimes. And to me, I always said, if you look for one of the very special place in Canada to grow grapes and to make some wines, it's probably like one of the top one is the Naramata Bench. So how would you describe your little sub-region where you're located?
I think it is extremely unique for sure, and I think that like with everything in the Okanagan, it has a diversity of terroirs. But I think if I was to kind of describe it to those who have never been here, it is one of the postcard places. If you think of BC wine, the Naramata Bench shot in the middle of summertime is the quintessential image that you would think of Okanagan. But we are very tiny. A lot of these sites are 5 acres and under. Very few are bigger than 10 acres. I think most of this is really, really tiny. And for those of your wine club members that are from Ontario, a 10-acre block, you're a big farmer here. So it's very small. The land is very challenging to farm. It's super undulating, and but it's unique. I think from those from abroad, I think the focus here are Burgundian type wines. So Pinot Noir, Chardonnay does fantastic here. Pinot Gris, and Merlot does fantastic here as well. So yeah, it's you have to come to see it. There's nothing I can say that does justice exactly what this is, but we're very fortunate. It's growing up here as a third generation farmer. Certainly, growing up farming here, you loathe being here because it represented work, lots and lots of hard work. It wasn't until you become older that you realize how special this place really is, and how fortunate we are to live here. And I think I catch myself, I look out the view of the window here and see what, my backyard, and go like, wow, this is truly blessed and an amazing place. So thank you.
Oh, that's so great. Well, thank you so much for doing the amazing work that you do, the wines. We're going to chat a little more about it in a second, Carl and I. But yeah, thanks so much also for taking the time out of your Sunday.
Thank you. Yeah, I'd have a glass of wine with me, but we're out pruning today, so I just came running in here for this. So, but thank you so much, everyone, and love you all, and thank you for supporting Canada and supporting BC, and we really appreciate it, and it's something that thank you. We love it, and we love all of you. Cheers.
Hey, Richard, before I let you go, I can't picture it. I really can't picture it. Behind the winery, where is that Chenin Blanc block or something? I can see a bunch of members partying there, like Portuguese way, the real Portuguese way, and lighting it up. I can see it. I really can see it.
Well, I did sneak a couple minutes before my spot here about that, and I think to those of you guests who've never been here before, we do have an amazing spot. We have an amazing chef and restaurant here that we can definitely throw an amazing Carl's Wine Club party out here. It's the food is to die for. The location, words don't do it justice. So yeah, we'll look forward to entertaining your guests, and I might even put everybody to doing some work too while we're at it. Thanks, guys. Peace.
We love it. Thanks
so
much.
You say hi to Twyla for us. Thank you very much. Congratulations again.
She's right here. You can say.
There you go. There you go. Woo! Congratulations, Twyla.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And the dogs.
You guys have a great rest of your Sunday. Thanks for joining us, Richard. Appreciate that. We'll talk later this week.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Bye.
Take care.
That's so awesome.
See, even the dog was thrilled.
The dog was excited. See, it's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I love that. We had such a great year working with Twyla and Richard, starting obviously with our offer. I remember tasting the Chenin Blanc for the first time, really early spring last year. That's when I was like, whoa, okay. But as we mentioned multiple times over this year, and we talked about it a lot for the top 10 wine of the year, the Legado. The Legado series at De Silva, it's the top of the top. And this one, the 2016 Legado Chardonnay, made it to number 2 on my top 10 wine of the year this year. So Richard can't make some pretty darn world-class Chardonnay, that's for sure.
Yes, amazing. And you know what? That the Legado Chardonnay was also when we were having Chardonnay Day, and we did it in 2 batches this last year, because I don't know, for whatever reason, there's 2 Chardonnay days, so we just did both. But we had 54 wines open that week, Chards from across Canada. And that was our top in BC. Was it our top overall? I can't remember.
That was the so at that time, yes, it was the top overall. So our top wine of the year this year, so it's number 2. So there's the top Chardonnay in the country. So and by the fact, the top Chardonnay in BC. And also Richard makes some mind-boggling Chenin Blanc. I like his Fumé, Sauvignon Blanc, Loire Valley style. Also, I like his Pinot Noir. He's spending lots of effort and energy with his Pinot Noir program. And remember taking some members
these guys. Look, Vicky and Al.
From Ontario. There you go. That's when Vicky fell in love with the Pinot Noir at De Silva.
It really was a standout. I mean, we tasted wine from 3 wineries that day. A good 20 wines we had, and that one was a real standout. And
and Richard mentioned something pretty cool. He's talking about the restaurant, right? So the restaurant at De Silva, we've been banging the table, you and me, for now 2 years, saying that's the best freaking restaurant in the Okanagan. Not only in Penticton, not only on the bench, no, in the Okanagan, the entire valley. The best restaurant to me, it's the kitchen at De Silva. And funny enough, so last year, so the year before, Mira and I were there for the last meal of the season. Last one. So we closed the kitchen in 2020. No, 2021. 2022, we were there the first day of the opening. And I don't know how many times we went down there this summer, but it was maybe not a dozen times, but we were there a lot. And a lot. A lot.
So the first time we went, look, I dug up the picture. This was Carl the first time we went to De Silva. It was in the fall of 2021. We knew nothing about the winery. We had just heard from a lot of members that said, you got to go check this out. And we heard they have the best paella in BC, and it sure lived up to the expectations. It was spectacular.
Right? And the cool thing with that, it's kind of it's tapas tasting menu, kind of. You can just sit down and you tell the waiter that it's up to the chef, and they bring tapas and tapas, and yeah, it is just enough. Clear my very favorite table in the whole Okanagan. So yeah, congratulations, Richard, Twyla, your whole team. We absolutely love what you guys do. So yeah, well, now we're gonna have to set a date for our BC members reunion. So
totally. So keep an eye out for that in the next little while as well. JD had a great question. Sorry you can't hear us, JD. I hope it's not us somehow. I think it may be just your sound maybe. But John Denis Valliere is asking, any chances there will be features on the winners like last year? And yes, we will, as soon as possible, ask these wineries what they're willing to part with. You know, there might be some special new releases, maybe some back vintages. We don't know yet, but we will pass that on to you guys as soon as it's available, because we're just as excited as you are to get access to some of this stuff.
I want to say something here because I was on the phone with Richard early afternoon here, so in BC, so mid-afternoon Ontario time or Quebec time, and Richard, so on Wednesday, in 3 days from now, Wednesday afternoon, they are bottling the new Legato Chardonnay. They're bottling the new Chenin Blanc, the new Fumé. So there's a bunch of new wines are being bottling this week. Stay tuned for some footage because I'm planning to be there and to see what's going on there. So yeah, that's some new stuff coming up. And like Twyla is used to hear me. Do you have anything from the library? Do you have anything like available? A little older stuff. So
found something in a warehouse, something, or yeah.
So we'll see what we can put together as a let's say a celebratory pack. Let's call it that way, okay? So let's see what we can do with Twyla and Richard.
Totally. Should we talk about Ontario?
Do we still have anything else about De Silva? Again, I want to say thank you to Lakeside Cellar in Osoyoos. Noel has been, what the heck is he doing there, that guy?
Daryl, you're in Argentina.
Away from Mendoza. I don't know where the heck he is, and he's on. Freaking love you, Daryl.
Love it.
Oh, we have an international contingent here this afternoon. So yes, Daryl. I love him. I love you, man. Incredible. Yeah, I wanted to say congratulations and thank you to Randy and especially Noel at Lakeside Cellar in Osoyoos. They've been amazing to deal with, all and more than this year. The year prior is one of the winery that our members are reordering regularly. They are on the balls. They are so efficient and so good. And their wine is such a great value. So I want to thank you and great job. You guys were close. BC was such a tight race. So yeah, so congrats to Randy and Noel at Lakeside Cellar, and also Danielle, yeah, and also Maverick Estate Winery in Oliver, BC, run by Yannick Rivera and Kate Collins. So you guys have been great to us. You guys have been, it's been awesome to deal with you all year long. And like, I'm expecting an amazing year again dealing with you guys. So congrats for being part of the 3 nominees. And don't change, you guys. You guys put some great product in the bottle, and you are a model of customer service. So great job to the 3 BC nominees, especially the Silva Vineyards and Winery, which Richard and Twyla de Silva are 2023 or 2022. 2022. Yeah, I still struggle.
I know it confused Carl. I hope it doesn't confuse too many other people. But yeah, it was like meant to be like a retroactive. What did we?
Yeah, I guess so. Right? It's pretty. It's easy to understand. It's just me. So congrats, guys. That's our BC segment of it.
Should we go back to our drum roll and talk about Ontario now?
Should we?
Yeah, I think so.
Before we go there, should we just say, so we have Musha Dre from the Lake Erie North Shore, Melissa Musha Dre. We also had our good friend, our amazing Brian Schmid at Vineland Estate. But Brian has been on almost every single show this year. Brian, and well, with Vineland, we've done 2 offers with them. We did a special on the legacy wine as well. So we've done some cool stuff with Brian, and hope to do much more in this year as well, because I love his passion. I love what he does for the Canadian wine industry. He's involved on the VQA panel. He's involved with the Ontario Winery Association. He's involved a lot, and also in charitable sector. And so, Brian, I want to give you a big shout out. Thank you again for everything. Close phrase there too. But our Ontario Winery of the Year.
Wait for it. Okay, here we go. Yeah, Sue and staff. And I was dying to tell you guys the whole time. That's what's in my glass right now. We opened the 2011 Riesling from Suan. It's
amazing. We cracked that late last night with our guests, and this wine turned some head. People were like, what the heck is that? Oh my God. Well, everyone knows that's a Riesling because it's absolutely unmistakably Riesling. Amazing. So good. But yeah, Suan, you are this year the Ontario Winery of the Year Members' Choice Award. It's so well deserved. So well deserved. There's not many people in the whole Canadian wine industry who has the fire and has the passion and the dedication and everything. Like I can go on, but she has it, and she's so kind, so personable, and
I might be Mark Simpson. As someone's saying in the VIP group, I want to plan a party with Suan. Yes, because she is so great to be around. She's such full of energy and so positive.
Yeah.
Should we let her say a few words?
So, yeah, go ahead. Yes, go.
Yeah, so Suan is traveling to Copenhagen at the moment.
She's in Copenhagen at the moment, I believe. She's already there. And because I was in touch with her throughout the week for different stuff. And now she's going to Germany. She's going to Germany for Provines. So I think she's in transition between Copenhagen and Germany for the biggest wine show, the annual wine show that's in Dusseldorf. But she was so kind. She said, "Oh, I can tune in from the cab between the hotel and the airport." But yeah, no, she sent us a quick little video, and I haven't watched it yet, so
let's see.
I think I won an Oscar or something. So,
let's start from the beginning. Hang on. Here we go.
I just found out that we won, Siouxan Staff Estate Winery, won the Carl's Wine Club Ontario Winery of the Year. Woo! How exciting. I feel like I won an Oscar or something. So I'd like to thank the Academy and, oh, wait a minute. No, I'd like to thank everyone that voted. And, I know we all have 100 million things to do when we're on the computer, so it's just so nice that everybody took a little bit of time out of their day to vote for us. We just try our very best to bring a lot of excitement to the Ontario wine scene and the Canadian wine scene. I'd like to thank all those Canadian wine lovers that are part of the Carl's Wine Club. You love good wine, you love great life, and hence why you're part of this group with us crazy folk that are silly enough to make Ontario wine and Canadian wine. But really, like most of all, a huge and heartfelt thank you to Carl and Mira for just being so committed to the Canadian wine industry, even just putting this together and all the time and energy that it takes to promote who we are and what we do. So thank you, thank you, thank you from the entire wine industry to you. So what do we do now? Well, okay, I see two things. One, this calls for a party. So maybe when the landscape doesn't look like this with the snow, we have everybody here to the winery. We have that beautiful big event tent. Let's have a big rockin' Carl's Wine Club summer bash in there. And I think it calls for a celebration pack in the meantime. So Carl, Mira, let's, your people will talk to my people. Let's put a celebration pack of wine together and get that out to your fine folks. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Thank you, thank you.
Oh, she is the best. Totally.
Okay, so she's clearly not in Copenhagen. She's clearly not. I was completely wrong with my schedule. She's maybe back or she's going to Canada.
She was in Copenhagen, and then she's going somewhere else tonight. So right now she's traveling. That's the.
There you go. There you go. Doesn't matter.
He's going. He's going. Oh, awesome. The party. Yes. That'll be
cheers. So Siouxan, thank you for that video. Congratulations to you and your staff. And let's talk a little bit about last year, because last year we had a couple of like really amazing experience in Ontario when we were there. Obviously, our members party at Bellaterra was epic. We also had a very epic tailgating tasting with Brian Schmidt. We had some really, really cool time, but we also had a Riesling and grilled cheese sandwich special tasting at Siouxan House that our friends Rob Amersley and Michelle at Black Market keep talking about every time we get together.
There they are. But yeah, Siouxan pulled out all the stops. Like, let me just show you guys. So when we get there, this is the treat that we know we're in for. Check out the, that's the room we were in, of course. And Siouxan's like 100 and something year old, or even older, like farmhouse. It was really cool. And then Siouxan is actually making us her epic world famous grilled cheese. I mean, she makes world famous wine. She's won something like, I don't know, 600 awards now for her wines. But she pairs the Riesling especially with these epic grilled cheese sandwiches. Like, look at these beauties, right?
It was incredible.
And then she actually sat down with us and went through each of the wines. And she had different fillings and pairings for each Riesling, like a different grilled cheese. Some had a little sliver of apple in there. Some had a special jelly on top. They were so good.
Oh yeah. Well, we actually talked about it for what, half an hour last night.
Yeah, like we keep talking about these grilled cheese, and I've tried to recreate them here. I mean, like we have one of Siouxan's 2011 Roberts Block right here, Rieslings. And I'm still like dreaming of that grilled cheese with it. I've tried to recreate it. I can't get it the way she did.
Yeah, me neither. If I tried 150 times. Thanks God I don't open a bottle of Siouxan every time I try, because I would be bankrupt by now.
Yeah. So good. But
So
yeah,
yeah,
now it's forever cemented in my mind. And I mean, we can't forget to also mention that she's got a gorgeous winery with the big events area and, of course,
bricks, bricks. There you go.
and he was such a little baby there. I bet he's much bigger now.
So, so bricks is on every bottle. That's so funny because our kids absolutely love dogs, and they say that bricks is their favorite winery dog across the country. So, it's a close call between Simba and bricks.
Right.
So I
Simba
have to
and
say,
Simba's, sister, Lulu, because Simba.
Lulu, yeah, not Simba, Lulu, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. At Ice Cellar.
Yes.
But yeah, so congratulations, Suan. We are looking forward to, yes, a celebratory pack. I don't know, like we have a really, really good crowd here live with us tonight, Mira. I want to hear in the chat box. How about the celebratory pack from Suan staff? Who's in, who's out? I want to see. And
Well,
put
yeah,
your,
and
and I want to see
especially
a special request in the chat box to give me an idea what to get.
yes, and especially if she's willing to reach into her archives, like her library a little bit, that would be so cool.
She's pretty good with that. Usually, she's pretty
She's
darn
very
good with that.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I know she's
Uh,
saved here and there from some of the best vintages, so we'll see if we can get our hands on some of that.
well, one thing I'm sure though, I need a couple more bottles of the 2011 because
Please, yeah.
that was the
Because
last one. I was like, look at, show the collar.
just
Show
look at
the
the
collar.
color. It's like it's incredible.
Yeah, really, really darn good. This wine turned. I have to say as well, we don't crack open a lot of international wines. When we're here, it's like 98% it's Canadian wines. And once in a while, there's a few international wines open. And last night we had a Tokai. So
From
the
Hungary, right?
very famous Hungarian dessert wine. If I had to rate that, this is definitely a 95 at the very minimum. That took high last night, and thanks to Rob Hammersley to bring that bottle. It was something else. I think I'm going to talk about that and bring that memory back for many years to come. That Tokai was something else, absolutely crazy good. But the Suan 2011 was one of the highlight of the night as well. So we had a few good bottle last night. So yeah.
Amazing. And this is what it is. Like when you are around great people, you're having a great time, and you encounter one of these wines that you go, wow, right? You remember that forever. It's pretty special. So that's what we're all about. Let's discover all the ones in Canada that are like that. And even all the everyday pizza wines and all those kinds that just make you stop and savor the moment, right?
Absolutely. And the food was all on par. So yeah, there you go. So yeah, this is our 2022, the reveal of our the Carl's Wine Club Members Choice Award Winery of the Year. So,
yeah. So congrats, Suan Staff Estate Winery. Congrats to Silva, Ontario, and BC. And watch out, members. Watch your inboxes for pre-registration for these events. And then as soon as we have dates and as soon as we have possibly some exciting wines available from them, let's stay in touch that way. Oh yeah, so I can find that. Last night Rob and Michelle said, hey, let's make it a 70s night, because we happened to have some recipes we were all making that
I knew
70s.
it's going to come up, and I knew we're going to talk about it today. I don't know why, but I had a feeling that it's going to happen.
Yeah, so then Rob and Michelle were like, yeah, let's make it like 70s best of bridge night, and so I reminded Carl. I said, I don't have anything that's 70s. I wore, I don't know, something that kind of looked 70s, but Carl really looked 70s. It was pretty epic. It was Let me see if I can get a picture up. Yeah. But the kicker was everyone else came to the party dressed in normal clothes. So we don't know. We don't know if this was a prank or
I think that was a prank. I got staged. Everything was staged for me to show up in my full-on 70s outfit, and people starting to arrive one by one, and everyone is dressed in normal clothes, and I'm like, what is going on here? So finally, I sure was the only one dressed up, and I said, F you guys, I'm going to stay like that all night long. And yeah, so that's what happened. So if you can find, now that we talked about it, you better find that picture.
And I have to say one more time, because this is Brian commenting here saying thank you to us. And I have to say, like, when we let Brian know, hey, you were one of our 3 nominees. You weren't like the top members choice for this particular one. He was so amazing. Like, he's like, well, then I got to go to the party for Sue-Ann. It's all good. So that's the kind of collaborative spirit we have amongst the wineries here. And I think that's what's going to make us all win in terms of
absolutely. If one wins, we all win. And when our industry is led by people like Brian, like Sue-Ann, where it doesn't matter, they're going to support everyone around them, because just like us, they understand that if one wins, everyone's wins. Marcel Morgenstern is exactly that way. Karen Hurst at Westcott. Like, there's so many. Oh, there you go. So Karen is sending the picture. So I'd rather to have that picture going out now, so we're done with it. And people can see
I have this one, though. Look at this one.
There you go. The effort and the energy that I put on my outfit. Come on. How is the white suit, right?
Right? It was pretty epic, right? There we go. Thanks.
Come on. This is a 95 points outfit. Let's go.
It was very, yeah. So we have to do it again. I don't know. Maybe one of these members parties has to have a theme. I don't know. But I promise it wasn't staged, Carol. We didn't try to make you the only one dressed up like a 70s.
But it sounds pretty darn freaking fishy, because I was the only one. So you have to work harder to convince me that it was not staged. Yeah, that was awesome. Thanks, Rob Amersley. When the first set of guests arrived and no one was I said, okay, that's okay. I know that Rob and Michelle are gonna come full on dress up. I was like, there's no way. And yeah, there you go. He walks in the house with his bag, glassware, wines, and all that, and I'm like, what? So anyway.
All right, so Rob's saying how I would rate that on the Mira scale. That is a, oh, geez. So in wine terms, that's a 5-glass wine right there. That's a full bottle. Yeah, I love it.
Oh, there you go. That was our night, that was the pre-Oscar last night, right? That's exactly what it was, right? It was the pre-wine, the pre-Members' Choice Award night.
Right.
So, hey, see, another annual thing that we need to do every year. We need to do a night party.
Yes. And crack open the winning wines. Yes.
Yeah. So there you go.
Well, it's so great to see you guys. Watch your emails for some more news about this. I think we're going to do pre-registration. Like, if we pick a date for these events, and even without a date, we'll just ask you if you're interested, if you're thinking, hey, I might go to that in BC, or I might go to that in Ontario.
I might go to both.
Or I might go to both. We'll get you to pre-register so that you have the first chance at tickets, the first chance at knowing all the details.
There you go. So, wow, a great show. Congratulations, Richard De Silva, Sue-Ann staff, our 2 new Winery of the Year, Carl's Wine Club Members' Choice Award. So yeah, next week, no features coming up this week. We are getting ready for iCellar.
Yes.
iCellar. So that's exciting. That is really exciting. And yeah, Mira's so really, really exciting. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Happy Sunday to everyone. And we'll chat again very soon.
Thanks.